win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, there are great rates available for you as well. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, call Term Busters. 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
The road to better health leads to my longtime friends, Dr. William Gaspar and his wife Ava at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. JD Hayworth here, and the buzz about Beehive is spelled out in its middle name, IV. Not only are today's popular treatments available, IV hydration, joint injections, semaglutide for weight loss, as well as many more, it's also the Gaspar's holistic naturopathic approach that helps your body with self-healing. That means treating the underlying causes of chronic disease, from chronic fatigue to fibromyalgia, even those dealing with Lyme disease and lupus. The experienced medical staff designs a customized plan for each patient. So walk in or make an appointment today. Mention my name, JD Hayworth. Get half off your first treatment. Better health awaits you at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. Search Beehive IV Wellness on your cell phone. And remember, you'll thrive at Beehive.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish, 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Now, it's week 3 in the NFL. So far, nothing has made sense. It used to be my wife would ask me who I'm picking. Now she asks me who I'm picking, and because I'm pretty sure she's fading me. You know what I mean?
Going the other direction.
Yeah. She's asking me she go the other direction. And then she asked me, what do you think of your Colts this week? And I was like, I don't think I like them. And so she picked them. So I'm just like, okay, well, you do what you got to do. But we're going to do our picks here in this hour. In the next hour, we'll have Scott, the fantasy football king, with us, Engel, because, he knows stuff. Although
Mr. the King will be here to help out.
Got to find out if he is suffering the same things we're suffering from all the upsets. And if there's upsets in the games, there's got to be upsets in players.
You got to feel like he is, though. I mean, he's normal human like us, even though he's, he's royalty, because his name is the King, Mr. the King. But you would imagine he's suffering the same things we are.
I'm sure he's gonna be like, no, I'm good at this. I feel like that he's just, he's just gonna be snarky. I'm pretty sure he's just gonna be snarky. So here's what I think. Right. You should ask him that question. If I ask him the question, he's just gonna give it to me. He likes you.
He likes you much better than
so if
he
you
likes
ask
us.
him, he'll go, great question, Randy.
Let me tell you, he speaks glowingly of you while you're gone. So we
all right. So our Mr. So let me rehearse. Mr. the King, are you suffering the same thing that we are with our picks?
Yeah, you got to be more specific because we are suffering many things, and he can't possibly know everything that we are suffering.
All right. So I guess we can talk about this.
There's been a lot of upsets last week. Have you know there are a lot of upsets in fantasy football players, and which ones should we stick with? Which ones should we cut bait with? And then just see what he says.
Isn't that kind of what he's here for, though? I mean, don't we ask him that every week?
We ask him that individual things, but I mean, this is more of a, forget it. Just forget it. You don't ask. I'm not going to ask. Nobody's going to ask.
Okay.
I don't know why this has to be so damn complicated.
I don't either.
It's like, you see, here's the thing. You were an only child. You don't understand how this works. I grew up, 4 of us kids, and one of us, usually the cutest, was elected to go ask the tough questions to our parents because they wouldn't get yelled at. And so, of course, if my little sister couldn't handle the question, well, exactly what I just said. Forget it. Never mind. Just forget it. Don't say anything. Don't say it.
Really? Oh.
Beer Bob.
You don't want me to say anything then? I mean, it's official. That's how we're leaving it.
Yeah, just forget it. Forget it.
All right.
It was probably a dumb question.
All right.
Beer Bob says, "Yay, you guys are back." Yeah, told you we would be. Why does everybody always think we're getting fired? I never understood that.
You're gone for one day.
So here's the thing. Before we do our picks, before we talk fantasy football, I do have the injury report ready to go. The injury report is ready to go. I'm going to tell you guys at least the latest information that we have on these things. Now, if you have heard something, seen something that I don't know of in the last, say, hour or so, feel free to jump in. But I'll just start with the positions. We'll go quarterback. Everybody knows Tua, he gone till further notice. Who knows when that might be? They're thinking week 8. Jordan Love, they're saying, oh, he could be back and play Sunday, or maybe he won't be back for a few weeks. Who knows what's going to happen? But they're saying he might come back this week.
He practiced twice this week.
I was going to say he was in pads today. Although limited, he was in pads today.
Either way, I like whatever defense against Green Bay.
All right.
Because
I don't know about that.
hobbled Jordan Love or Malik Willis. Listen, don't look at my Colts. Here's what happened. The Colts couldn't stop the run, which, by the way, is another reason I don't like them right now.
Okay.
So Jordan Love, if he's kind of hobbled, I
don't know.
It's like playing against the rookie quarterback almost.
I went back and looked at that game. That felt more like Packers' offensive line is just really that good versus Colts' defensive line is so bad.
Well, if they're so good, how'd he get hurt?
Well, he was hit by 2 people. So
how'd he get hit by 2 people if that offensive line was so good?
Because an offensive line is good doesn't mean that quarterbacks never get touched. just not as often as others. But it still just takes one.
It just felt like a really good response.
I have a question.
Yes, Randy.
Randy White, 1580 The Fanatic. And my question is directed towards Mr. Rose, the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio.
Oh, I just don't like when you
Mr. Rose, do you have some sort of like John Madden football video set up in your house that you can go back and watch games?
No, I don't. There's just.
How did you go back and watch the game? Was it on DVR?
He's the younger generation that can see anything they want on YouTube.
Their websites.
Okay. All right. I just thought, Keon Rose, sexiest man, Sports Talk Radio, thought you had this John Madden, multiverse in your home.
That's Jeffrey.
In fact, it's going to get bigger. My wife says to me Sunday, she's like, we need another TV down here.
Oh, boy.
So now we'll have the giant TV. To me, 85 inches is giant. Other people, maybe it's not. But to me, we have the giant TV in the middle. 85 was big enough we had to move all our furniture back. Because, so we got the 85-inch in the middle. We're going to have, I think they're 50, 60, let's just say 250s on either side, because you can only do 4 at a time on the Sunday ticket. So on this side, we'll have 4. On that side, we'll have 4. Then we'll have whatever we're watching, the main game in the middle. And if something looks good, we'll bring it up on one of the other screens. That was her idea.
How about that?
Have you ever heard of such a thing? That's when you know you got the right woman, when she says, we need another TV down here.
Another TV.
It's all right. I'm not crying. It's okay.
Yeah, if I had that set up, I wouldn't need to go back and watch games.
No, yeah. You'd see I told her, I said, a few years ago, I kind of remember bringing another TV out there and it just being too much TV light kind of coming at you. Like it gave us headaches. You know what I mean? But we're going to try it again.
All you need now, because you're well on your way. All you need now is some sort of a bar setup and some like high top table with some really cool bar stools. Get you one of those kegerators for your fridge. Dude, you'll be set. You'll be set.
I already kind of have that. So
you have a kegerator for your fridge?
No. But there is I'm looking for the right. Now, Moist One, I'm going to say this clearly. I'm looking for the right piece of wood to put on the top of where the counter is going to be, of a place where it's like a high top where people can sit behind the couches and watch stuff too. Someday we might actually entertain people.
All right.
Fish Tank says, Randy, Keon clearly recorded the game on VHS.
That's exactly. Yep.
I don't think Keon would. I don't even know if he knows how to handle VHS.
Sir,
Keon is.
I was a '90s kid. All of my favorite movies were on VHS.
Yeah, Randy. Just because your clock blinks 12 all the time doesn't mean his does.
I am an analog man in a digital world. Keon, however, is cutting edge.
Delicious says, Ayuk's bitch ass better show up on Sunday, especially if Kittle's banged up. Boy, these 49er fans just turning on their guys.
Yeah.
And that's what I heard. Kittle is questionable. The last I heard, he may be out this week.
At what point, if you're the 49ers, do you not look at your entire training staff and go, guys, what the hell? Every year we have some large portion of our offense just injured. Last year, it was McCaffrey a little bit near the end. And then you missed a little Ayuk at one point. You missed a little Debo at another point. But every year with the Niners, how can you win a Super Bowl if that's your team every year?
Yeah. We got to get this injury report done so we can get to our picks, because we're going to run out of time. So let's see. Bryce Young, does it matter? I mean, it's the Panthers.
It matters a little, because when Andy Dalton played in place of Bryce Young before Bryce Young got knocked out of a game, the Panthers offense did look better. Like he has more experience. He can do things that Bryce Young can't do. And Bryce doesn't have any confidence anymore. I feel bad for the guy, honestly.
Well, they have no confidence. He has no confidence. It's the Andy Dalton show now for the Panthers. Running back wise, Kenneth Walker III. He was limited in practice with a groin issue, but they're expecting him to play. Raheem Mostert for the Dolphins, limited in practice due to the knee injury, but they think he might be able to make it. Dameon Pierce from the Texans, he didn't practice. He's a knee injury, so they're probably thinking no on him. Madden cover boy, Christian McCaffrey. Yeah.
That's right. He's
Say
on the
good-
cover, isn't he?
Yep. Say goodbye to him until week 6.
I hate that people bring that up with him. Like he didn't get injured multiple years prior to being on Madden. Like Madden is not the reason he's injury prone. He's injury
Shut
prone.
up. It's
'cause
fun to say.
He's injury prone. Yeah, but it's just
fun to say. Shut up. Joe Mixon.
I hate fun.
I know. Joe Mixon, he played great, and then they hip drop tackled him at
He's got a bad ankle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Isaiah Pacheco, you know about his surgery for his fractured fibula. And let's see, wide receivers, Justin Jefferson. The word on the street is they're hopeful that he will play. DK Metcalf with the hand injury. I thought he had a hand injury. Oh, wait, I'm thinking of somebody else. Was it him? They're saying he had a rib injury, but so they're not sure if he's going to play this week for the Seahawks. CeeDee Lamb, he was, he wasn't really practicing much, but they're going to play him. Amon-Ra St. Brown should be okay. Keep an eye on him. They're saying he's going to play. Should be great. Everything's fine, but keep an eye. AJ Brown, hamstring. So he could play. He could not play, but that's a Monday night game. So you know how that goes.
So he's got a little bit more time to try and get back there. He already missed last week.
But also you could end up hosed if you go through Sunday and then Monday morning they're like, he's not playing. And you're like,
keep somebody in reserve then.
Well, you might want to think about if you've got somebody close or, maybe go with them instead
and
just
also,
to be safe.
And we do have 2 Monday night games, so that there might be more of an opportunity.
We don't.
We don't as a
Not on
radio
the
station, but like
No.
as far as the games being broadcast, there are 2 Monday night games,
which I hate.
So there's a bigger pool of players perhaps for you to choose from in the
Dumbest
event that
thing
AJ
ever.
Brown can't go. I don't like it either, but here we are.
Dumbest thing
If
ever.
you run them at the same time, what could anyway? Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, I think it's dumb.
Hold on, I just realized something here. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I hate that. You're competing against yourself now, NFL. Derp. Swazman says, I have a CD of the Jake Plummer, Pat Tillman Rose Bowl ASU. Damn you, David Boston. I don't have a CD player anymore, though.
CD or DVD?
I think you mean DVD. Bala51 says, my first setup back in 2004 was made out of 2x4s and had a row of 5 24-inch televisions across the top, a projector 60-inch next to 2 42-inch TVs stacked on top of each other. The bottom TV was one of those old wood cabinets and with a screen, and it was 32 inches. Oh, the good old days. When I was 18, I stole about 20 milk crates and made just a magnificent entertainment center. I returned them when I bought a real one, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the injury report. David Njoku, he's probably going to be back soon, but I don't know if it's going to be this week. Dalton Schultz, he's been in practice limited, but they're saying he's trending towards playing. And Evan Ingram, week to week, probably not going to play. Probably not going to play. Probably is going to be even longer than just this week. So that's what I've got on the injury report, except for Debo Samuel's calf injury. They say no Achilles tendon involvement with that. So that is good news for Debo Samuel. When is he going to be playing? I don't know. I don't know where's he listed as? He's out?
He was doubtful the last time I checked.
Yeah. All right. So just consider him out. So that's what I've got. Anyone else have anything?
No, I think you covered it.
All right, let's get to our picks. Let's do this thing. As always, we will start with the games that are on 1580 The Fanatic first. So Thursday Night Football coming up at 4:30 p.m. The New England Patriots taking on the New York Football Jets. I don't know when this was ever going to be a good game except for like 5 years ago. Like 6 years ago. Even then, the Jets were not good 6 years ago. Just the Patriots were good. Well, you see what I'm saying? There's never a time where a New England Patriots versus the Jets game was going to be like, oh, boy, I can't wait.
However, though, using your own ideology
I think you mean methodology.
Okay, methodology. 2 mediocre to bad teams playing in a game could end up being a good game. And I think this could end up being a good game. You have sort of an old-time rivalry between New England and New York. And this could be an interesting and fun game to watch.
All right. Well, so why don't you give us your take on this game, Randy? You go first.
I'm taking the Patriots.
All right. You wanted to tell us why? You got any more information than that?
I think the Patriots right now just have a better team. I'm not sold on the New York Jets offensive line and Aaron Rodgers, even though he's a two-time MVP of the league and a Super Bowl winner. I just don't think this team has got their rhythm being New York Jets. So I'm going to take New England. I think they're the most realized team right now.
All right, Keon, what are your thoughts on this? Now, remember, it's the Jets at home versus the Patriots.
Yeah, I like the Jets in this one. I just think that as far as their offense goes, I like their whole offense a lot better. I know Ramondre Stevenson for the Patriots having an awesome year running back. Like they get him in the red zone, it's almost a touchdown every time. But when I look at the Jets and I see Garrett Wilson and I see Breece Hall and I see the weapons that are there, I know that Aaron Rodgers has not done a great job of connecting with the other receivers on that team, but to be able to lean on a guy like Breece Hall and have him, waiting in the wings to either join the passing game or just continue to dominate the ball as a part of the running game. I really like the Jets and what they can do against the Patriots team that doesn't really have an offense that's particularly explosive.
All right. Well, I'm taking the Patriots, and I thought that I'd be the only one taking the Patriots. But I guess that's out the window. I'll be honest. A lot of my picks are not going to be making sense this week. Why? Because
none of the games made sense last week.
Exactly. So I don't know.
You're trying to adjust to this new NFL season.
I kind of want bad things for Aaron Rodgers. That's pretty much it. Okay. That's really the reason.
That's fair.
So Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m., Green Bay Packers take on the Tennessee Titans. So, all right, I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans because I don't want good things for Green Bay just because of what happened. You know what happened. So what are your thoughts on this game, Keon?
Yeah, well, first off, I'm just not big on that Titans offense. I think the Titans defense is legitimate, but I also think the Packers are a well-coached football team. Matt LaFleur got Malik Willis near the end of training camp. And so when he had Malik Willis in there, he didn't ask Malik Willis to do anything he'd asked Jordan Love to do. You like to run the ball? We're going to run the ball. And I think that Packers offensive line is so good that even against good defenses, they look pretty dominant. And I think that, running the football is going to be something that's a point of emphasis for them. It's going to keep the opposing offense off the field and give them a chance to win this football game. I'm taking the Packers.
Who's the quarterback for Tennessee? Is it still Levis?
It's still Will Levis.
It's still Levis?
Yeah.
What do you think, Randy? Will Levis overcome the Green Bay defense and offense?
I'm taking Green Bay in this one. I know it's a road game for them, but I agree with Keon. This team is well coached. They are well organized, and you're exactly right. What Matt LaFleur didn't do was bring in this backup quarterback and try to do something extraordinary. He let him kind of be who he was, and he built the offensive game plan around him. So I'm going to take the Packers.
All right. Well, I guess I'm alone on this one. See, you guys are going to rethink it now, aren't you?
No,
not really,
because of how bad I've been lately. Are you sure? Okay. Bruno Baller.
Not really.
Bruno Baller says, why was there no Blender show on yesterday? We had to listen to You Better You Bet.
I don't know what you're talking about. We were here.
Yeah, we were here. Where were you? That's just kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. We got Sunday night football, Monday night football to pick, plus all of our games and a couple of good ones, too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One. Thursday Night Football spotlights an AFC East matchup to start NFL Week 3 when Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets host the New England Patriots. Jacoby Brissett and the Pats dropped to 1-1 after an overtime loss to Seattle last week, while the 1-1 Jets are coming off a win over Tennessee. Ian Eagle and Devin McCourty will call the action on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert. 4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Ralph? Yeah, Neil. Why is that moving truck out front? And what are all these moving boxes doing here?
Haven't you heard? The Weekend Warriors are moving to Sundays at 8 a.m.
Yeah, we'll be the best pro football pregame show in the Valley.
I'll break down the Cardinals each week.
I guess I can break down the Cardinals' opponent each week. And we'll have a weekly segment with last-minute fantasy football advice from the king, Scott Engel. So what are you going to do, Ralph? I'm just going to be right all the time, like always. Whatever. It's the Weekend Warriors Football Sunday, starting in September at 8 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
Today's Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So did you see this? Mel Gibson and Jim Caviezel are making another Passion of the Christ movie. They're making a sequel. Really? Jesus is back, and this time it's personal. I mean, just what are you doing with the I mean, what do you do with the sequel? There's, I mean,
Jesus is back. This time he's pissed.
Are they gonna whoop his ass again? I mean, just feel like that was enough. The one was enough.
I hadn't read anything about it. I have to look that up. I don't know.
And here's the thing: like if you say, they whooped him, and then he was dead, and then they stuck him in the cave there, and then he comes back. He for 5 minutes tops. You know what I'm saying? He came out. He's like, "Hey, I'm good, everybody. Later." And he was gone. And then so, how much movie do you really think there is?
Well, there was a lot of post-resurrection activity, as noted in the Bible.
How long did Jesus actually kind of hang around?
It was at least several days.
Oh, I thought it was just like, okay, well, this is good. It's great to be here. Where are you guys? Like, he's a comic. It's like, hey, everybody, it's great to be here. I mean, and then I thought he just went straight up.
Hey, everybody, boy, I just got into town, and boy, my arm's tired.
Mostly from hanging on the cross. But let's not. Okay, come on. Too soon. I don't want to make you feel bad, but you should have done that. It's like we just turned Christ into Shecky Green. Just
yep.
Yeah, the Goog said that he was there for 40 days.
40 days?
Yeah.
You could have just, okay. Okay, so 40 days worth of was he glowing? I don't know. I mean, how was he?
No, actually.
He showed up to the disciples. He showed up to different houses of people that had supported his ministry. And,
I bet even back then he was like, this could have been an email.
I mean, he was the one that stayed. Yeah,
this didn't need to be a meeting. This could have been an email.
I don't think they had emails back then.
I know, but he knew about them back then. It was probably thinking it. Like, this would have been great. Like, we just sent out something.
Could have been handled as an email.
Maybe some fruit baskets. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know what they're going to do with this movie, but I hope they don't whoop him again, because that was hard to take, wasn't it? Just not interested in seeing.
That was rough watching that.
anyone's Lord and Savior beat the hell out of for an hour and a half. Just okay, we kind of got the point. Thank you. Anyway, sorry, I just saw that thing. It just came to my brain. Probably not the right. I'm not feeling well today, so that's probably why I'm not on task right now.
All right.
Aren't we usually off task? Just as a general rule.
For some reason, Ralph from Harmon Solar just texted in, just stop. I don't know if that's because of the Jesus thing or because he's got some sort of COVID. I don't even know why he's listening. He was too sick to be on the show. Why would somebody torture him by turning it on at his sick bed?
Maybe that's Pippi No Stockings did that.
Raven Kid says, good afternoon, guys. Is the 1580 app down? Tried to listen to the show on there and nothing's coming through. Are we on the air or are you doing the entire show in queue right now?
No, you're on the air. I know what it sounds like when we're on the air. That's very insulting.
We've had that happen before.
Okay, but my headphones are on my head and the sound of your voice is coming through my headphones.
Yeah, Raven Kid.
If you were in queue, I literally could not hear you because that sound doesn't come through my headphones. That's very insulting. What do you think these are on my head for? What are they on? What are they here for? Just show?
Sometimes I wonder.
That's very hurtful. I'm
602
wounded.
Pats fan says, let's go Patriots. I got a lunch bet on you guys. Wait, what? Did we make a lunch bet?
Boy, I hope not.
Involving the Patriots? Not that I recall. But.
Fish Tank says, why did Tua have to get hurt the week before the Finns play Ralph's team? It's a good point.
It's not great.
Wilbur says, Jesus came back and attended the 180 Super Bowl. That makes sense. Baker's Cocky Hen says the website is working on my phone without issue. Well, I just use the app on an Android. I don't have. Maybe it's an Apple thing. I don't know. Listen, Raven Kid, we have so little show here today. I can't become tech support for you right now. I've also been told it's probably not a good idea for me to do that Indian accent anymore. So I can't be like a call center text. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. Just anyway.
Sounds like Raven Kid is now 0 for 3.
Scratch Me Because says, I'm rooting for Team Ralph's virus.
That's so mean. What?
Damn.
Come on.
Oh, Screaming Eagle, I'll save your question because I like you. But the fantasy football questions are in the next hour, starting at 4 o'clock, just so you know. Unless you're asking me. And he says, do I want the Tampa Bay or Baltimore defense? Probably Tampa Bay. Probably Tampa Bay this week. But I don't know. I went and got Tampa Bay's defense, and then I just didn't feel – I just not feeling right about it. Then Moist One came and picked it up. Moist One is just trolling me. He just comes behind me and just does that
What
kind
did
of thing.
you like about Tampa's defense? Because they're playing Bo Nix.
Yeah, I know. And that was the reason I first grabbed it. But I just I'm a little worried about their consistency. I
we
feel
only have 2 weeks of data, but they have been good.
No, not really. Tampa Bay defense has not been great.
I mean, they held a Lions offense that we think is more high powered than what we've seen so far. Held them in check. Then the Commanders scored a bunch of it was kind of garbage time when they started scoring. So
for fantasy football purposes, week 1 they scored 4 points. Week 2 against Detroit, they scored 4 points. So as far as fantasy football goes, not great.
That's fair.
And I needed somebody who's going to give me more points because I'm playing a juggernaut of fantasy football this week. Somebody who takes no prisoners, somebody with no conscience about these things, somebody with no soul in their body when it comes to defeating other people at fantasy football.
I thought we played last week.
No, I'm talking about Keon.
Oh,
I'm playing Keon this week.
Ah.
Well, I'm 1-on-1.
So every point counts.
I'm higher in the standings than you. So, that's that's quite nice.
For about a minute. So enjoy it while you can.
I think it'll be longer than a minute.
You're only 40 points higher than me. That could be taken care of this week.
I don't think you're going to do it this week. I looked at your team. I don't think you're going to do it this week.
Now I'm looking at your team.
I don't think it's going to happen this week.
Well, I'll definitely gain ground on you. A lot of Q's on your team right there.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Screaming Eagle. Yes, I told you. I got you covered. 602 Pats fan says, "Oh, the bet's not with you guys. It's a coworker that if the is a Jets fan. So wish me luck." Well, now I wish you luck. We thought the bet was with us. Yeah, the hell with you. T-licious, this is not the time to talk about Ohtani being one home run away from 50-50.
Yeah.
He says, I only care because I have him in fantasy. Well, we don't care. We don't care at all. I mean, really cool. Good for him, but we're talking football. Trying to. Okay, where were we? Sunday night football. Sunday night football, it's the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, I do not believe are this great team just because Kirk Cousins was able to slap together a drive at the end of that game the other night, just because the Eagles coach blew it. So Kansas City, golly, I didn't even need to say anything about Atlanta. It's Kansas City. Kansas City with the win easily against the Atlanta Falcons. There will be no miracle at the end of that, because that Kansas City Chiefs team, I don't know if you noticed, pretty good coach. So what do you say, Randy?
I say the same thing. Kansas City Chiefs, two-time Super Bowl champions, going for a three-peat. Oh, I can't say that, can I? Do I owe what's his name something now?
What are you talking about?
Three-peat. What's his name? The basketball guy, Miami Heat general manager Cohen or whatever. What's his name?
Who said
Greasy
you couldn't
hair.
say three-peat?
Well, he trademarked a three-peat. Anyway. I guess Big George can fight that battle for me. He's my lawyer. So I'm taking Kansas City here. I mean, they've just got too much firepower for Atlanta. So give me the Chiefs.
I would imagine that Keon will make it unanimous.
I will, because the Chiefs are actually the one consistent team in football. Usually it's backwards. Everybody plays like how we expect, and then the Chiefs just look bad. The Chiefs have looked really good, and everyone else in the league has looked pretty bad. So I don't know what to make of that, except to say I'm going to ride with the team that's been the only consistent team as far as I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. But see, here's the thing about the Chiefs. Even last year, when we felt like they weren't doing great, and then later in the season, we were talking about it, and we went back and looked at their record, and they're like, "Hey, wait, what? How are they still this good?"
They were winning the games, but they were all ugly.
Yeah, every game was just ugly as hell. It was so ugly, we thought they had a losing streak or something going. It was bad. Swuzman says, Keon, we all miss you. And I mean beating you in League Two. Fifth letter says, Raiders. I'll be yelling that all weekend with the rest of the nation. The rest of Raider Nation. This weekend in Vegas, he says, just win, baby. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
888-368-1580. So the other 1580, the Fanatic game, is Monday Night Football. This will be interesting.
Which one?
Well, we're talking about the one we're playing. We're not
okay.
We're airing.
All right.
I say, which one are we airing? I think we're airing Jacksonville and Buffalo. We're airing Jacksonville and Buffalo.
Yeah, because that one starts earlier.
At the time, it seemed like maybe the better matchup when this was scheduled.
Once upon a time, not that long ago.
Now, I'm not so sure, but let's go ahead and talk about it. Buffalo Bills at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville ain't been great, but Buffalo ain't been all that great either. So which one of these is going to be just great enough, Keon, to win the game?
I'm going to go with the Bills because Josh Allen, I think, even when everything's not going well, if the play calling isn't great, if the wide receivers aren't open, if the offensive line isn't blocking at a high enough level, the run game's been really good. But if everything isn't clicking, Josh can still throw on the Superman cape and take over football games. And, on the other side, I like Trevor Lawrence, but he's not that. They were hoping he was when they drafted him, but he isn't. So I just think that the team that's going to consistently make more explosive plays is the Bills. That's because of Josh Allen. I'll take the Bills.
Doesn't it help that Trevor Lawrence, while brushing his hair, talking to reporters, says, we suck right now? That's all I needed to hear. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. What about you, Randy?
I'm also, it's a home game for the Buffalo Bills. And what Keon said, I agree with. I mean, Allen could take over a game at any time. And so if they're in trouble, look what he did with the Cardinals. I'm going to take the Bills.
All right. So now the other Monday Night Football game is Keon's Washington Commandos traveling over to Cincinnati, Ohio to play the Bengals. Now, it's got to be depressing to travel there to have to play, but it also has to be depressing to live there and have to play.
Oh, those are the two options.
So I feel like both teams are equally depressed at that moment. So I can't really take home field advantage into consideration. But Randy, what do you take into consideration when you pick this game?
I kind of what I did was I put my hand over my face and I just picked a team. That's how I did it.
Oh, okay. And who'd you come up with?
Is it Cincinnati?
That's your entire analysis on this?
At this point, yeah. Because look, I mean, Washington, I expected him to be better. I expected that the rookie quarterback was going to come in. He was going to have some good games early on. It was going to be surprising. It hasn't happened yet. I think they will be good. Maybe if they continue to play, I think they're playing okay, but they've just got to get that togetherness. Now, the big question mark for me for Cincinnati, Joe Burrow's health, and also I picked Cincinnati because T. Higgins will be back on the field. That gives Jamar Chase and T. Higgins both on the field with Joe Burrow, and I think that dooms Washington. Plus, they're in Cincinnati. So give me the Bengals.
Bengals ain't looked all that great, and I'm going to be honest. I don't know.
That's why I kind of
know what they've done to fix anything.
And I pointed,
but I'm going with the Bengals too. Sorry, Keon. You taking your Commandos, or are you going with the Bengals too?
You don't have to apologize. I'm also taking the Bengals because I'm not blind. I like what Jaden Daniels has done. I actually think that he showed an awful lot so far. I wish Cliff Kingsbury would call plays that actually are thrown to the end zone and not laterally, but that's okay. That's a gripe that I have. That's neither here nor there. That's not even the thing that dooms them here. It's like Randy said, it's Jamar Chase and it's T. Higgins on the field together for the first time this season, going up against the last ranked pass defense in the NFL. Dead last. They can't stop anybody. I'm not picking the Commanders because I've seen them play football.
Wow. All right. Well, good thing we're not airing it then. So, you know,
I mean, I think the Commanders are going to score enough points to maybe make it a fun game, but they're not winning it. No.
Well, you won't hear it here because we've got the other game.
Thank goodness.
You're welcome, America. Walter Mellon says, I want to test Keon theory. Who is Mr. Wilbur taking? Well, he's going to take. He's going to take Washington because he is blind.
Oh,
that's what I think.
See, I didn't say that. You're not going to pin that one on me.
No, I mean, it's just fact. Raven Kid says, considering Kansas City gets 15 guys on the field at all times compared to the opposing team's 11, they should win. Well, he's counting the 4 refs.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. All right. I was like, wait, hold on.
Pats fan says Jaguar is going to put in Mac Jones and beat the Bills like he did the last time he was in New England. Yeah, I don't think so. No. No. Robert from Surprise says, Randy, glad to have you back. I'll be at the Cardinals game this weekend, rooting for the home team with my Cardinal fanatic cousin.
Nice. This is going to be a fun game when I'm not going to reveal my pick yet.
Yeah, keep that secret because we wouldn't want to give that away.
Right. You'll just have to wait and see who I pick.
We'll find out when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed the law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Carrie Lake. Carrie and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Carrie Lake for Senate.
I'm Carrie Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Carrie Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, there are great rates available for you as well. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, call Term Busters. 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Taco Bell just dropped the new Cravings Value Menu. Now you can get 10 items for $3 or less, which means you can get the food you want for the price you want. It's almost like you can have your cake and eat it too. But in this case, it's a double stack taco from the new Cravings Value Menu. So basically, you can have your double stack taco and eat it too, which is a lot crunchier than cake. The new Cravings Value Menu is here. Get it at Taco Bell today. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations while supplies last. Contact store for price and participation which vary. Tax extra.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Now, you can be the guy that eventually gets bits and pieces of the latest news, or you can get the whole story when it breaks. The NFL is always in season here.
That's how we do it.
Follow us on Facebook or Twitter. Or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Stay Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Excuse me. I guess Ralph isn't too sick to listen because he's also put in his prediction for his game. We already know what he's going to say. But okay. I'll throw that in here in just a moment. We're definitely running out of time. So let's go ahead and get right to, let's say, my game. And I'm taking the Chicago Bears.
Are you
After
really?
last week, if we couldn't take out Malik Willis, if we couldn't take care of business against the Packers in the state that they were in, if they could just run through that defense, guess what Chicago's got going for it? So, I'm just going to go ahead and say Chicago. I'm out. I'm done. And say I even went first because the real analysis will come from you guys. I'm just saying, nope.
I feel like Indianapolis has got a point to prove, and I think having the rookie Caleb Williams come to town and that anemic Chicago offense, this is a perfect time for Indianapolis to break out. Plus, it's a home game. I'm going to take the Horseshoes. How about you, Keon?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Colts too. I just think that the Bears have a lot of things working against them. First off, I don't think that Matt Eberflus is anywhere near as good a coach as Matt LaFleur. So when you look at the Bears and the Colts going head to head, I just don't think that you got to give the Packers credit, I think, for having a better coach. That's why they won that game. The other thing is Caleb Williams hasn't even begun to look like a starting caliber NFL quarterback in this league. So far, 267 total yards through 2 games, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So that's the other aspect of it. I mean, if you see the roller coaster of an Anthony Richardson, but the roller coaster of Caleb Williams has been pretty much going down since he started. And it's not helped by the fact that offensive line is actually tissue paper. They're not stopping anybody. This is a good get-right game for this Colts defense to kind of get back on track against an offense that's going to offer basically no resistance whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. You might have been disappointed in the Colts. I watched the Bears, and I wish I hadn't.
Yeah, well, I watched the Colts last week, and I wish I hadn't.
But that's your team. You're going to look at them more critically. I'm not even looking at the Bears critically. I just was a fan of football, wanting to watch some good football, and I didn't see that in Chicago.
Well, then you should probably just sleep in and then watch the next game we're going to talk about. It's time now to see what's up with the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals have, I do believe, a pretty good test ahead of them on Sunday. The Detroit Lions come into town to take on the Arizona Cardinals. So, Keon, pluses and minuses, all right? Positives and negatives. You got Detroit Lions. They haven't been playing great, but they're still capable. And, again, talk about wanting to get right. Talk about wanting to come in and show everybody that Goff is still the guy and that this team is ready. We were talking about them as a Super Bowl contender. So they got to come in here and take care of business against the Arizona Cardinals, who are now the sweethearts of the offensive loving NFL fans for last week. They've already forgotten the week before. So help us get some clarity on Detroit and Arizona.
To be fair to the Cardinals, the week before, the Cardinals put up a bunch of points then too. They just didn't win the game because they kind of faltered in the end.
Yeah, they couldn't stop Captain Super.
But the Cardinals offense is real. There's no faking that. And the fact that they've gotten Marvin Harrison Jr. more involved in the offense, even better. I actually am feeling a little bit of an upset here on this one. I'm leaning on the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals and the Lions could get into a shootout situation because I don't think that the Lions have done a very good job of stopping explosive plays and keeping those plays in front of them. And the Cardinals' entire offense appears to be running the ball and then using that run to set up explosive plays. Like this is essentially what the Lions are not built to stop. And Kyler's playing really good football, and Marvin Harrison's showing what he can do. And then Trey McBride started to get going near the end of the last game as well. I like a lot of things about the Cardinals. It's not any disrespect to the Lions. I just think this Cardinals offense is explosive enough, and they look like they're on a mission. I'm going to take the Cards.
That's the exact same reason I'm taking the Cardinals. Is just if it continues, now I'm rolling the dice. I'll be honest. I'm not sure what version of the Arizona Cardinals offense you're going to get this week, but I think a home game, everybody's going to be jazzed. And I think it's going to be loud as hell in there. I really think that Arizona has potential for another big game, and I'm going to go ahead and take them over the Detroit Lions. So this might be unanimous for the first time, and God knows how long. Do you remember last time we all picked the Cardinals, Keon?
It's been a while. I couldn't tell you exactly what the date was, but it's been a little bit.
You might not have been born yet. So let's go ahead and find out what the man, the myth, the legend, Randy White has to say about this game.
It will be brutal when the Lions come to the big Coliseum known as the Silver Nest. It will be a physical game of power and angst from the Arizona bird of prey, the Cardinals. It's time for the Cardinals to make some hay. I look for the Cardinals to strike fast and to get that rookie Marvin Harrison Jr. involved early and often. I also look for the Cardinals to gash the Lions running between the tackles, where the Cardinals are currently top 5 in the NFL. Look it up if you don't believe me. The Cardinals will win this game by more than 3 touchdowns in a lay waste of Lions and their fans, in what will forever be known as the Great Gladiator Sweep in the Silver Nest. Cardinals 35 and the Detroit Lions 6. So it was.
I thought you might have gone with the Great Kitty Shave of 24.
No.
I really thought you might go with that.
The Great Kitty Shave of 24.
Yeah, you might want to write that down for the next time. I think that would be a pretty good one. If you play any other cat themed, the Kitty Shave. Because,
the Kitty Shave.
A lot of people shave their kitties. I'm just saying. Anyway, so there you go. There you have it. Unanimous Arizona Cardinals to win against the Detroit Lions. And so now that leaves us with some more time to read some texts and pick some other games. Ralph from Harmon Solar texted in. He says, please, he's taking the Lions.
Yeah, we know.
I mean, I expect that from Ralph.
What?
But he's probably had a fever, so he's delirious.
He says, well, here, let's go ahead and look at his game. Seattle Seahawks at home against Miami Dolphins. He says, Tua-less, Seattle will beat them. Yeah, he's right. I mean, let's be honest. I'm just, he's right about just this. You can't take Miami. You just can't.
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle.
Yeah, who the hell's going to be quarterback from this? Have they even sorted that?
Skylar Thompson.
Skylar, yeah.
Drafted 1 round or 2 rounds before Brock Purdy. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Because of that and only this, I wish I could pick Seattle twice. You know what I mean?
Why?
Because this is going to be bad.
Because he's been in the system this whole time, and he's looked good when he's had to come in and play for the most part, though not this last game. But we've seen that happen where guys come in and they look a little flat-footed, and then in the second game they at least look passable, like Malik Willis.
I wish I had the Seahawks defense right now.
I mean, it is a great defense. That's the other aspect of it. Is Mike McDonald?
I mean,
new
this
head
week
coach,
especially.
He's doing some amazing things, and to have a chance to go up against a backup quarterback like that, I'm sure he's having a good week.
Kiss the Cook says the Bears are so paper thin they're getting finger breakthrough. Oh yeah, I hate that when that happens to the toilet paper.
That's also true. I mean, I saw one play with Caleb Williams where he dropped back to throw, and it was a 3-step drop, and when his foot hit the ground on step 2.
You know, I might just go ahead and change my pick to the Colts just to spite you guys. So then when they lose,
all 5 starters on that offensive line lost before he took his 3rd step and a 3-step drop. I've never seen that before in my life. I just haven't. I just simply cannot pick the Bears.
Delicious says no DeForest Buckner means I'm changing my pick to the Bears, I think. Yeah, that ain't great.
I've seen the Bears. The Bears playing offense look like the Commanders playing defense. Like neither of those things have ever looked good in the year of our Lord 2024.
Silver Nest says, I thought it was a silver porta potty. Silver Nest. That was not nice.
That's okay just now, and wait and see.
Here comes Ghetto Girl with some more hatred. Cardinals have been a disaster since before they moved to Arizona. They will continue to be until the Bedwells sell them. They will get your hopes up and then let you down. So obviously, going with the Lions.
I wish my team would get my hopes up and let me down in a Super Bowl. Some people are using the word disaster wrong. That's not a disaster. The Cardinals haven't been great. That a disaster? Stop. That's not what a disaster is.
My Colts have the most recent Super Bowl of any of our teams. Well, at least the 3 of us.
Yeah.
You mean Super Bowl win?
We've been there and won and lost. Kane Kittens, okay. I don't have time for new texter nicknames, even though Short Straw is not bad. I'll be honest. Short Straw is not bad.
That's a good one, actually. Yeah. Solid.
I think Ralph must be very sick. He just texted, Jesus. Are you praying? Are you? Swazman says, ask David Carr how Caleb Williams feels running for your life on every play as a rookie with an offensive line that is paper thin. I really don't want to talk to David Carr.
He's not wrong.
I know, but I still don't want to talk to David Carr.
Why not?
If I invite him over and he sits on my furniture, that oily hair is going to leave a big splotch.
Well, you just don't invite him to your house.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
if I can meet him somewhere else, then I guess I could ask him.
Because he does use a lot of hair gel. That's true.
That's not gel. That's petroleum. Baker's Cocky Hen says Kyler Murray is going to be the MVP this year. It continues this Sunday. The odds will be dropping dramatically. The brakes need pumping.
It's been 2 games.
We got brakes that need some pumping.
Yeah, it's only week 3, everybody.
I am high on Kyler this year, but it's been 2 games.
Aiton's Army says, what about when your GM who gets suspended for drunk driving distributes burner phones to executives so they can skirt NFL rules and communicate Oh, how about that? That's a disaster. You know, he just got hired by Adam Schefter.
Well, that's he's no longer our GM. We actually have a legitimate GM now.
Yeah.
So
Average Joe says, "Hey, Keon, are you going to Commandos Cardinals game? Did you ever work that out to go with?"
I haven't because
who was that?
I
The
don't.
Jet?
I think it might have been the Jet. I don't know what my plans are for that yet.
Well, you should definitely. Jet's got a ticket.
I mean, yeah, but you know, like I also first off, I like to watch the games at home, so that's one thing, and then
I'd rather stay home than go to the game.
And then the other thing, well, yeah, because my girlfriend's at home. The Jet is I'm sure a nice person. We're not dating, so you know.
I'm pretty sure with the Jet, you will have to put out.
I don't want to. So I got other
No
points,
one rides
which is
for
why
free, Jack.
I haven't agreed to anything.
See? Grass,
exactly.
or gas.
So who has the
No one
etiquette
rides
now?
for free.
I haven't agreed to anything, so I haven't agreed to what would come with that.
I don't know. Which way would you go? Ass grass or gas?
I don't know. It depends on what my needs are at the time. Bruno Baller says if the road team loses during the Seahawks and Dolphins game, they will have a long flight home. It's actually the longest distance between two NFL teams right there. You are correct. Baker's Cocky Hen says when the Ravens are 1-5, Kyler Murray is in the top 3 MVP odds week 7. Keep this receipt. Well, I mean, all your texts are still here, so I'm sure you can just remind us that if that happened, but I wouldn't count on it. Swazman says, whatever happened to the free Mississippi rule for defensive line to rush? Maybe they should reinstate that. So they got to say one Mississippi. I think that's only with backyard football. So, all right, guys, get your questions ready for the king of fantasy football. He's up next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Former CIA officer Jason Hansen here. As someone who's dedicated my life to protecting people, I know the importance of guarding what matters most. Right now, with global instability and the dollar's declining value, that means securing your financial assets with gold. For me, I trust Advantage Gold with my own investments. Give them a call at 800-900-8000 for a 100% free gold guide. Again, call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 today.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicated for future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sport show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
JD Hayworth here, and the road to feeling better leads to my good friends Dr. William and Ava Gaspar at Beehive IV Wellness in Chandler. With both licensed nurses and physicians on staff by appointment or walk-in, Beehive IV Wellness takes a holistic, naturopathic approach that helps your body with self-healing. All of today's popular treatments are available at Beehive Wellness, from IV hydration to joint injections, even popular semaglutide for weight loss. If you haven't tried IV treatment, you're missing out on your chance to really get healthy. So look them up, make an appointment, or simply walk into Beehive IV Wellness at their Chandler Clinic, where you always get a free initial consultation. Mention me, JD Hayworth, get half off your first treatment. Search Beehive IV Wellness on your mobile phone. You'll thrive with Beehive.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on 857 CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody. It's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. All right, we're working on getting Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel, on the line to answer your fantasy football questions, and I got them all already coming into the text line. They're already streaming in. And if we can't get him on, then we're going to have to answer these fantasy football questions, Randy.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
But you're doing pretty good this year. You're doing pretty good.
I'm 0-2, Jeffrey.
You're doing pretty good. I was trying to, I was trying to boost you. You have more points than I do.
Not after last week, Jeffrey.
No, you have 249 4, and I have 244. So point is, you're not helping as I'm trying to boost you up. So that
I would be glad to answer any and all questions of fantasy football with relevant things that they can use.
I think we just killed both of our credibilities on this. So I don't think either of us have any.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So I take it you've left him a message, and we can't reach him.
He's a very busy man. You know, he is the king.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do we have
I do have him, but he is he's getting on the Zoom right now.
Oh, okay. So as soon as he's on, that's good news, everybody. So as soon as he's on, your questions can start to flow after I take my turn first. I don't have a whole lot of questions for him this week. Feel like I've got my wide receiver and tight end situation pretty well set. I just have a question about my running backs. That's all. How you got any questions for the King this week, Randy?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm always looking for more advice, especially from Mr. the King. Mr. the King needs to help me find a quality tight end out of what's left over.
Well, I have Jazeki if you want to trade somebody.
Oh, I like Jazeki, but no, thank you.
But you haven't even heard the other part of the trade.
Oh, go ahead.
I haven't looked and decided who I want to.
Then you start barking, but you haven't done all your research.
I'm looking at your lineup. I don't know why you have two defenses. That's
well, I just picked up New Orleans because I don't like the matchup this week for San Francisco.
Yeah,
they're playing the Rams this week.
Yeah, I don't think you can afford to give up any starters. And I don't know. I mean, you got Kahil Shakir is okay. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Take a look at it. Maybe make an offer. I don't know. As soon as we get the King on, I'm sure he can help you better than I can.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not here to help you. I play against
you.
So.
Well, you played me last week and you killed me.
You know what's weird is that we have changed the order of things as far as the games that happen. This is the first time like I play you and last week, and then I play Keon this week, and then I play Ralph the following week. Everybody all in a row.
I've got Ralph this week, and probably Keon next week.
I think we've got him.
Okay, I've got you guys. I got you guys twice, but I only have Ralph once. So, All right. So now it's time to talk to Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel. He's a senior writer for Roto Baller, official fantasy writer for Seahawks.com, fantasy writer for Sportsline.com, and inaugural member of the Fantasy Sports Writers Association Hall of Fame. And he is punctual optional. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Punctual, optional.
Yeah, we've been sitting here just tap dancing for 5 minutes, just waiting on you.
Yeah, you see, I've never missed a spot.
Well, you didn't miss it, but I mean, Anyway, listen, I got more important fish to fry here and not a lot of time to do it. So let's talk about my running back situation. I am not worried about my wide receiver situation, doing just fine. But I got Devin Singletary as a starter with Chuba Hubbard and Javonte Williams on the bench. How do I play this? Because I feel like Javonte maybe is not great for this week. And so are we looking at Chuba? Are we looking at Devin? Also not looking that great this week, in my opinion. So who do you like out of those three?
I mean, you can't use Chuba Hubbard right now at all. Just there's no production. Maybe Andy Dalton pumps a little bit of life in that offense, but that tells you a lot if you need Andy Dalton to pump life into the offense. I actually do like the matchup for Javonte Williams this week. It is a pretty good matchup against the Tampa Bay run defense. So, I prefer Williams over Hubbard.
All right, but you prefer Williams over Singletary.
Yeah, Singletary had a decent game last week, but that was against Washington. A much tougher matchup. But Singletary just not a feature back in the NFL. I'm going to go with Williams.
All right, so that's it. Usually I've got a lot more questions for you, but I think that's it for me. Randy has a question for you.
Oh, hey, Mr. the King, how are you? I haven't talked to you yet this season. How are you, Mr. the King?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm 0-2.
Mr. Randy.
Yeah, I'm 0-2. But I have a feeling that's about to change. I need what is a sleeper tight end that you have? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you have a sleeper tight end that you like?
Actually, Janu Smith of the Miami Dolphins this week, but was just writing about him last week. Tied a career high with 6 catches. Seattle allowed Hunter Henry to have a career game last week. Skylar Thompson now at quarterback. Type of quarterback. He's less experienced. He might rely on his tight end. So if you're desperate, I would say Janu Smith.
Okay. I think that's all I've got this week. Back to you. Good to talk to you, Mr. the King.
Always. Thank you.
All right. So how about you, Keon?
Well, Scott, it's my usual flex question. I've got T. Higgins in the flex. I've also got Zay Flowers possibly for that position, or Jameson Williams. Which of those three do you like?
Well, we don't know if T. Higgins are playing or not, but Jameson Williams against the Cardinals defense is nowhere near as good as it last week. Just the Rams are that bad. Jameson Williams already 2 games with 5+ catches and 75+ yards. He's got a lot of upside. I'm going Jameson Williams.
Sounds like Jameson Williams is a good play this week for anybody. Is that all you got, Keon?
That's all I've got.
All right. So, we are, taking the training wheels off and only asking you a few questions this week. You ready to start answering some questions for the masses?
Just fire away. Yeah.
All right. Supergirl is on the text line. She says, hello, Mr. the King. Who do I put in the PPR flex this week? Lazard or Tony Pollard or Brian Robinson?
Lazard's definitely not in the mix. Good opener, but that's who Lazard was in Green Bay. Decent game, and then you don't hear nothing for him for several weeks, so he's not even in this. Pollard is going to get a lot of carries, but Brian Robinson Jr. has the best matchup of all three, and he's coming off a 133-yard game. I would definitely go Brian Robinson Jr.
There you go. Screaming Eagle says, if we knew Evan Ingram was going to be healthy, do we start him or Hunter Henry, who's playing tonight?
Well, Ingram hasn't practiced at all. He's very iffy. I always say when you're in doubt, you go with the healthy player, and that'll be Hunter Henry. The Jets play like Robert Saleh comes from the Seahawks coaching tree, where they play like a version of the cover 3, and that kind of defense is always suspect to the tight end. So, You can't wait for Evan Ingram. It's not looking good already. You know, he hasn't practiced yet. So just go with the guy who's healthy.
There you go, Screaming Eagle. T. Licious says, do I keep Tyreek Hill or do I try to trade him?
I don't know if it really depends. Like, do you need to trade him? I mean, he's still Tyreek Hill, but you don't get rid of him because of the quarterback change. You know, maybe his value gets trimmed a little bit. It's kind of a question. Like, I wouldn't trade him just to trade him. He's still Tyreek Hill. Do you need to fill a need there? You know, I don't know what the strategy is there behind him. You know, getting rid of him because, you know, if you're down on him a little bit, so is everybody else. You're going to be trying to trade with. So, you know, you'll have to put a package together.
Yeah, I think I would sit there and just see how this replacement does, because if you don't know how the backup quarterback or whoever they put in there is going to play, and if that person, it starts hitting Tyreek Hill as his safety blanket all the time, then it actually could do pretty well. I saw that a lot with fill-in quarterbacks for the Arizona Cardinals. They would always hit Hopkins, because that's the only person that they knew could get open for him. So personally, I'd wait a week, but I'm not the king.
Yeah, well, Miami's got Waddle and they have Hill, but it's an excellent point by you. You know, instead of going all the way downfield, maybe Skylar Thompson hits him on the shorter route. There's a reason why Skylar Thompson is on the roster. We can't assume that the backup is going to be terrible. We have seen 3 career starts from him. He's been nothing special, but still a very young quarterback. When he last started with a lot of he started 3 games, I think, as a rookie, actually. And now it's 2 years later. It's just those kind of questions. I appreciate them, but just like, should I trade him? What are you expecting? So I think you answer it well. Kind of wait and see what happens here. What if he does have a big week or a big week next week? Then you're going to regret that you did it.
Swazman says, "Hey, Mr. the King, I'm 1-1 in both of my leagues. Jay Waddle or Pollard in the flex position?"
Yeah, well, I will bench Waddle there. Not only is the backup quarterback playing, but also that Seattle secondary is very good. Reek Woolen, their one of their cornerbacks, is number 1. He has the number 1 cornerback grade on Pro Football Focus so far this season, and Devin Witherspoon is number 11.
Chosen One says, "I got a question for the flex spot. DK Metcalf, Zay Flowers, J.K. Dobbins, D. Moore." Come on, man. That's like 5 names. DJ Moore or Alec Pierce?
I'm leaning towards DJ Moore right now. We don't know yet if DK Metcalf is playing. Now he's got a hand injury, and I haven't seen the practice report for today yet.
So I was yelling at Chosen One there, and maybe I shouldn't be. You said you're good with a bunch of names. You're good with that, or should we tell them to knock that off?
Yeah, if that's what people have, that's what people have. I don't want to roast them for asking questions.
Oh, I do. I'll do it, but we won't.
We won't. You can do that. It's your show.
We won't do it, but we could. We would. Robert from Surprise, shut up. Let's see. Oh, no, here's his question. Do you think Higgins will play Monday, or should I put in Pittman in that spot for wide receiver?
Yeah, when people ask those kind of questions, do you think he's going to play? I can't answer it when the team doesn't know if he's going to play yet, or they haven't answered it yet. So again, when you're in doubt, you always go with the healthy player.
Quick information. Ohtani has done it. He's now 50-51, 50 home runs and 51 stolen bases. Congratulations to him. So now we're moving on.
That opens up like another, debate here. I'm here in New York. I live in Queens. I'm a Mets fan. And there's a lot of people saying that Lindor deserves the MVP because, he actually plays in the field and he's spectacular in the field. But, if you have to make that case, then Lindor is not getting it because, 50-50, nobody's ever done it.
Sports writers are in love with Ohtani. You know who's getting it.
Yeah, but any year Ohtani doesn't do something historical like this, Lindor's having an MVP type season. When you talk about most valuable, the award has never really been about who's most valuable, who has the best stats. Like in 2015, Bryce Harper won it, and the Nationals didn't even make the playoffs. So if you take Lindor away from the Mets, they're not even contending for a playoff spot. If you take Ohtani away from the Dodgers, they're probably still winning the division.
Hefty Lefty has a question I think is designed to hurt my feelings. He says, Mr. the King, would you sit the Steelers defense for either the Colts or the Bucks defense?
Yeah, I got to go with the Steelers. Good matchup. A unit that you could always pretty much use every week. Just don't overthink it.
So my Colts, they're pretty well toast this year, right? That's just bad, right?
I'm not saying your Colts are toast. I don't like them over the Steelers this week.
I think they're toast. Baker's Cocky Hen says, need one of these super flex. Andy Dalton, Will Levis, Tank Dell, or Shakir.
You always have to go with the quarterback in the super flex. So it comes down to Willis or Dalton. Then I'll just take Dalton with the experience. But boy, that's pretty desperate even for super flex.
Big George wants to know Brock Purdy or Jared Goff at quarterback.
I like Goff. That game has the highest Vegas total in the week at 51.5, and that Arizona defense is nowhere near as good as it looked last week.
Okay, well, now I'm going back on my word. I have another question for me.
Okay.
I've got Jared Goff as my backup, but I got Hurts, the Jalen Hurts. I still start Hurts, right?
You never bench Jalen Hurts for anybody else unless you drafted Josh Allen in the first round and you drafted Jalen Hurts in the second. You never bench.
I just figured I better ask. So, Zach Charbonnet, Michael Pittman, or Adonai Mitchell, Big George follows up with. That is for flex.
Mitchell's not even playable fantasy-wise right now. Josh Downs is coming back this week. The Dolphins have allowed the sixth most fantasy points to tight ends. To running backs over the last 2 weeks. Definitely Charbonnet.
All right. Listen, we have to take a break. When we come back, there is a long line of fantasy football questions from listeners of the Daily Blender. So we got Scott, the fantasy football king, Engel, and we will be right back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
4 years. That's how long it took Democrats to ruin our economy and plunge our southern border into anarchy. Who helped them hurt us? Ruben Gallego. Washington could have cut taxes for Arizona families, but Ruben blocked the bill. And his fellow Democrats gave a bigger break to the millionaire class in California and New York. They played favorites and cost us billions. And Ruben wasn't done yet. Democrats could have secured the border. Instead, they invited an invasion and used our tax dollars to pay for it. Ruben Gallego even backed the law to let them vote in our elections. Don't give Gallego and the Democrats another 4 years to hurt us. Give your support to a real Arizona leader, Kari Lake. Kari and the Republicans will secure the border, support our families, and never turn their backs on us. Kari Lake for Senate.
I'm Kari Lake, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kari Lake for Senate and the NRSC.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert. 4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. We got Scott, the Fantasy Football King, Engel answering questions, and we're going to have to go rapid fire because we might need more time with him every week if this keeps up. So are you ready? Did you do some stretches? We don't want you to pull a hamstring or something. You ready to answer more questions?
Fortunately, I'm never listed as questionable.
Let's do this. Beer Bob says, "Oh, Mr. the King, I know you say you're supposed to play your studs, but Kelsey's looking more like a dud. Laporta is projected to have more points over him, so I think I'm leaning towards playing another wide receiver in my flex option. Do you think that's a wise move?"
I don't know who the wide receiver is, so that really depends on what the other choice is. I hate using a cliche, but with Travis Kelce, you'll get the squeaky wheel treatment this week because they'll get him involved, especially with Isaiah Pacheco being injured and a hole at running back. I think Kelce gets more involved.
He also wants to know, does it look like T. Higgins is going to play?
Again, I'd like to give you an answer, but if the team doesn't know and they haven't released that information, I can't make a prediction. If the information is available, it would be irresponsible for me as a professional fantasy advisor to tell you that somebody's going to play or not going to play when the information doesn't exist.
Moist One says, "Hello, Mr. the King. Go Hawks. I'm in a bit of a pickle after the Cup injury. Do I go Christian Kirk, Odunze, McLaurin, or Keon Coleman?"
I'd take a shot of McLaurin this week. It's a better matchup for Washington against Cincinnati, and at some point, Jaden Daniels has to get him involved.
Zay wants to know, Kelsey or Kittle?
Well, we don't know if Kittle's going to play. He just popped up today on the injury report with a hamstring, and when all of a sudden you pop up on the injury report after the week has started, it doesn't bode well for his availability.
Zay wants to know also Goff or Prescott?
Goff, definitely. Again, the highest scoring projected total of the week. DraftKings Sportsbook, Fanatic Sportsbook, all the sportsbook, 51.5 points projected in Vegas.
Fifth letter says, "Good day, Mr. the King of all kings." He says, "Just win, baby." Really? You don't have a question? All right. Well, Niner Annapolis says, "For the tight end, Likely or Ferguson?" Hello? I think he lost us. Mr. the King? Senor King?
This is
yes,
not
I'm
good.
here.
Buenos noches. Well, we got you back. All right. So Niner Annapolis said Likely or Ferguson for tight end.
Not sure if Ferguson's going to play. We're going to have to wait and see on that.
All right. Fish Tank says, "Can we play Amari Cooper in a flex position?" Hello? Are we having some dropout here?
Maybe.
I am back.
There.
I don't know what this is. I don't know. Maybe the Carolina Panthers are running my mobile network. I don't know what's going on.
Oh boy.
I don't know. If Fish Tank was asking if we can play Amari Cooper in a flex position, and I'm not sure why he's asking that.
Yeah, but it all depends on what your other options are.
Niners 1680 says Dak or Jaden at quarterback.
I didn't realize he was on a first name basis with these guys, but
very familiar.
Daniels has the rushing upside, so you got to go with him.
Teacher lady says, "Sorry to bother you, Mr. the King, but can I ask you a quick question for my fantasy football team?
Never a bother.
Would you start Zay Flowers, Devin Singletary, Tyler Lockett, or Gus Edwards in a flex?"
I would go with Zay Flowers. I like the matchup for him this week. He's my number 18 ranked wide receiver in my updated lineup rankings on rotoballer.com.
Raven Kid says Juwan Jennings, Jalen Waddle, or George Pickens this week.
I'm going to go with Juwan Jennings. He has to play a bigger role in the offense with Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey out, and if George Kittle misses the game too against just what's a injury ravaged Rams team. I like Juwan Jennings this week.
Arrowhead of the class says Mr. the King, Kyle Pitts, or Trey McBride.
I go with McBride. He's already demonstrated more upside until further notice than Pitts, who still hasn't lived up to expectations.
Shooter McGavin says, Mr. the King, is Shaheed legit? Is he worth picking up?
He's legit as a big play threat, but he is what he is. Some weeks he'll go off and then he'll go quiet for a few weeks. So if you want to take the roller coaster ride, go ahead.
Eye Candy says, if Nico Collins can't go Sunday and you got the following two wide receivers, which one would you play? Reed from Green Bay.
Nico Collins, sorry to interrupt you. I haven't seen, he was back at practice today. Just when you see a questionable tag pop up on the injury report, there's different shades of questionable. And make sure, like if you're on a site like rotoballer.com, you get their app for the player updates. Make sure you read. Just don't look at the tag. Read the context behind it. He's back at practice today. He's going to play.
Well, if they needed to, though, would you use Reed from Green Bay, Ridley from
There's
Tennessee?
no if. I'm not answering the next part of it.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't want to be
You're on your own,
arrogant,
Eye Candy.
But Eye Candy, read the whole update.
All right. Bite My Kebab says, would you use Love, Herbert, or Carr?
We don't know if Love is going to play, and Herbert just hasn't been useful fantasy wise, so it's got to be Carr.
All right. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I can only use one, London Walker, or the running back Reed, or wide receiver Brian Thomas.
Okay, those first two made no sense.
Yeah, London is a tight end. I think this is for the flex. So London.
No, Drake London.
And then the way it typed out, it looks weird. London, Walker, Seattle running back, Reed, Green Bay wide receiver, Brian Thomas. It's a mess on this text.
Yeah, Walker's unlikely to play again. Both Thomas and London have very tough matchups, but I'll go with London since he'll be a more regular target.
Chosen One says Richardson or Carr?
I got to go with the Richardson for the rushing upside.
Fifth Letter says, got my question now. Michigan over Southern Cal. Come on, Fifth Letter. We're not doing that right now. We're not doing that. That's for tomorrow. Keon Rose's college football dance party is tomorrow. Bullseye says Rashad White or Devin Singletary in the running back position.
I don't like either one of them, but Rashad White's more likely to catch passes out of the backfield.
All right. Whistling Gerbil. He says, I'm trying to read this. I'm getting some. Did we already do Swift or Kyron yet?
No, we haven't. Both of them haven't looked good. Bad matchup for Kyron Williams. I don't like him. Swift has the better matchup, but he hasn't shown us anything. I'm slightly going to lean to Swift.
All right. Fish Tank says, isn't it amazing that someone asked about Jordan Love, Herbert, or Carr, and somehow the answer was Carr?
Yeah, it's weird. You never know what can happen in fantasy football. That's why people look at their roster after the draft or in the summer and they're saying, oh, I'm going to plan for week 14, or this guy has the same buy as this other player. By week 2, your roster already doesn't look the same. The draft is just the start of a long season, not a fun season, but a long season of constant adjustments.
One last question. Swazman says, Laporta or Likely?
I'm going to go with Laporta to bounce back. Another squeaky wheel sort of situation. 2 catches for 13 yards this week. Last week, that means he gets the ball this week, and that Arizona defense is no good.
We're done.
Gil Alexander hosts a numbers game. Weekday mornings 8 till 9 on 1580 and 99.3.